Okay, the first person is Lindsay O'Brien to talk about backyard chickens. Lindsay? Okay, I need your name and the city you reside in.
My name is Lindsay.
Pull that down a little bit, please.
I'm short, so this works. Thank you. My name is Lindsay O'Brien. My address is 1710 65th Avenue, West Rock Island.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hello, again, I'm Lindsay O'Brien, and first let me say that I absolutely support the regulation of backyard chickens. Regulating backyard chickens in a city not only makes for happy neighbors, but it makes for happy hens and healthy hens. So first I would like to start with some common myths about backyard chickens. Myth 1, urban chickens carry diseases. Fact, small flocks have literally no risk of avian flu transmission to humans. Centers for Disease Control states on their website there is no need at present to remove a family flock of chickens because of concerns regarding avian flu. The 2010 Grain Report states, when it comes to bird flu, diverse small-scale poultry is the solution and not the problem. Salmonella is a food handling sanitary problem, not an avian problem. Our community members are far more likely to get salmonella from conventionally farmed and purchased produce rather than they are to contact it from small backyard chicken operations. Myth 2, chickens are noisy. Fact, laying hens at their loudest have the same decibel level as human conversation, 70 decibels. Some common noises that are much louder than hens are a vacuum cleaner at 80 decibels, car traffic at 85 decibels, lawnmower and barking dogs at 90 decibels, a baby crying at 110 decibels, and parrots at a whopping 135 decibels. Myth 3, waste and odor, and I know this has been a big concern from council members. Fact, unlike a dog or cat, chickens have no natural body smell. The smell associated with chickens comes from their manure. A 40-pound dog generates 1/4 a pound more waste a day than 10 hens. While waste from all animals has a smell, composting chicken manure can not only help improve the integrity of the soil, it can also help to eliminate the smell from it altogether. Composting chicken waste is valuable as a high-nitrogen, chemical-free fertilizer. Composting with chicken helpers keeps tons of biomass out of municipal trash collection systems. It is important to note that you are unable to compost waste from dogs or cats as they eat highly meat-based diets. Chickens have the perfect waste cycle. Myth 4, chickens attract predators, pests, and rodents. Fact, predators and rodents are already living in urban areas. Wild bird feeders, pet food, gardens, fish ponds, bird baths, trash waiting to be collected, all attract raccoons, foxes, rodents, and flies. Modern microflock coops provide ways of keeping and managing family flocks that eliminate concerns about such pests. Chickens actually help regulate pests in the area. They will seek and eat just about anything that moves, including ticks, fleas, mosquitoes, grasshoppers, stink bugs, slugs. Myth 5, property value will decrease. Fact, 7 out of the 10 cities on Forbes magazine's Most Desirable Cities list for 2014 allow backyard chickens. There is not one documented case that a home property value decreased due to family flock next door. These statistics emphasize the value of green neighborhoods and communities who value local, healthy food supply and respect the environment. Because one of the main issues addressed from the council was their concerns over chickens causing an issue with smell, we messaged surrounding cities that allow backyard chickens to ask about how the experience has been for their city. Not one had any smell complaints that they could relate back to us, and not one response was negative. Here are a couple of examples of the responses we received. Champaign, Illinois, population 86,096. We've only had success since legalizing backyard chickens in the city of Champaign. I have not heard a single complaint, and mostly the folks who have backyard chickens go unnoticed. Warrenville, Illinois, population 75,570. We have not received any complaints regarding keeping of chickens. We had a number of residents keeping chickens before we adopted the ordinance allowing keeping of chickens so that they just became legal. Occasionally, people will call to ask if chickens are allowed, and they are typically very happy to learn that they are. Silvis, Illinois, population 7,604. The chickens in the city of Silvis is a non-event. No complaints, no smells, basically a non-issue. No different than having a dog or a cat. We never hear anything bad one way or the other. I get a chuckle on my face when I read about this. As long as City Council limits the number of chickens, it is not like you are allowing a commercial egg-producing facility in the middle of Rock Island. All the chickens in Silvis are treated as beloved pets.
One minute.
Thank you. And finally, we have started an online petition. We are already at 180 signatures just for the online petition. And from that, I have gathered a couple of comments from Rock Island community members. The option to be able to sustain your own living environment should not be restricted. Chickens are one of the cleaner livestock that can be raised within city limits that will not affect surrounding neighbors. Tim Johnson, Rock Island. This could be very educational to the children in our community that would like to work with these animals. Jordan Schreffler, Rock Island, Illinois. I am signing this because I believe the citizens of Rock Island should be allowed to own backyard chickens. Owning chickens is a great way for families to practice sustainable living and provide for their families. John Akaris, Rock Island, Illinois. Please let the Rock Island residents have chickens. Fresh, organic eggs are delicious and healthy. Chickens are great pets. Kathy Leninick, Rock Island, Illinois. Having a few hens can be a part of a sustainable lifestyle that the city of Rock Island could be supporting. Chris Rice, Rock Island.
Time, Lindsay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Right
you.
on time. Okay,
I have a quick question on the chicken ordinance that we were talking about last time. How many? I defer to you, Aldermanship, since you have the most knowledge. How many? What's the most you would recommend for chickens in a?
Well, I hope that, to answer your question, I hope by the end of the night we're going to hear from some other people who can address some of the concerns that we've heard. And then one of the things that we have to do for the ordinance is we have to change something about it. So as it's written right now was 6 chickens was the max for a residential property of 10,000 square feet or less.
Okay.
And up
That's
to
what I was
10
trying
if
to-
it was over 10,000 square.
Michelle Ramsey Moody.
Hello,
Hello, name and address.
Michelle Ramsey Moody, 8201 Ridgewood Road, Rock Island, Illinois.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay. I brought these. I'm going to talk on backyard chickens again. I have emailed all of you, and I've heard from responses from some of you, so thank you. I'm a Rock Island native, born and raised, and now employed here in Rock Island, so I have strong ties to my community. Funny, I'm now a half mile from where I grew up, and when we grew up, we had horses, chickens, and sheep. So now that we have to fight to have chickens seems a little perplexing to me. I also, the week after we had the city council meeting where the ordinance did not pass, received a letter from the urban planner, Alan Fries. It states, the city has identified you as the owner of 8201 Ridgewood Road, Rock Island, Illinois. I have been informed by the city animal control officer that you have chickens at your residentially zoned property. Nobody. City ordinances do not allow chickens in residential zoning districts in the city of Rock Island. You will need to have your chickens removed by September 9th. If you have any questions, call the Planning and Redevelopment Division. I know there's at least one other person that received this letter the same week that I did. So when I talked to my alderman, Mr. Virgil Mayberry, he said it was a mute issue. I also know of 3 other people who were affected by this before it even came onto the plate. So it's not the fact that we had chickens and the ordinance was proposed, but this has been ongoing, that the city does not know how to interpret the law as it's written. It's rather convoluted. In the packet I gave you, I'm not going to go through it because I'm going to assume you all can read, you're here. But the first part just brings up the noise, which Lindsay addressed. The second part is my email that I emailed to all you. The next part's the Moline City Council. This is the presentation they presented. And the next presentation is one that the suburbs of Chicago had presented. And I know those address some of your concerns that you'd mentioned last time. The next page was generic Google search on animal control salaries, because one of the quotes or the comments that I heard on the backyard chicken page was that we don't have enough animal control officers. So generically, if we had a $10 annual license, we could get 6.5 animal control people in the city. Because I know at the last meeting as well, we did not address where the money would go. I also included a survey on backyard chickens. It was found, it was completed, and so they talked to, like Lindsay did some local ones, so this is some ones, cities and all the complaints. There have been very few complaints, and most of the people that surveyed said that this was an increase to a betterment of their society. Hold on, you sucker. Chickens are really great pets. They're educational, they're fun, and they provide you breakfast. Monka, that's my toddler, is a very good advocate for them. Lindsay had started the online petition. I've got a physical one where I've been going door to door. I have 92 signatures as of yet. I've only had 6 no's, and 2 people wanted to stay neutral. So I think that number is kind of telling. And this is just what I've been able to cover in my family, and it's mostly Ward 2. I realize that Rock Island has a lot on their plates right now, so I just don't want this to fall behind in some of the other stuff that's coming up. So, and like I said, I'd emailed you all, so you have my information. But if anybody has questions, I can maybe answer some. I am a new graduate from the Scott County class. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes, Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
I have known her for quite a while before she moved where she's at now. She lived on 9th Street and 25th Avenue. She had chickens there. She had no problems with chickens then. What this has caused people to wake up that didn't even know there were chickens in the city of Rock Island. Okay, and she lived right across the street from a restaurant, like she says, breakfasts and that. I have talked to her. This is your son, right? He has a pet chicken that he plans on taking a picture of graduation this year, right? So we have had various calls. It stirred up a whole can of worms. I don't think it should have been stirred up at all, but now we have to address it somehow. And I've talked to some of your neighbors that's signed that petition also. Thank you.
New supporter.
That's it.
Sound like what?
New supporter.
I'm just curious if everyone who is here for the chickens could just stand or raise their hand in support of it. Great. Thank you. Right. Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to prove the point.